Most people think that making more money will fix their finances, so they get second and third jobs, and they wear themselves out. Meanwhile, their finances stay the same or oftentimes get worse. Luckily, there's an easier way that we can improve our finances, and it doesn't require hustling for more money. Stick with me as I show you how. My name is Lucas, and welcome. Now, in my 20s and 30s, I chased after money, and by the time I hit 38, I was making the most money of my life. Yet, I was in the worst financial position of my life. No matter how much I made, it was never enough. Now, just a few years later, my debt is gone. I have savings, investments, 2 years worth of living expenses for emergencies. I always have what I need, and the best part, I didn't have to hustle to make more money. Now, as I get into how I did this, I'd like to point out that I'm not a financial expert, and this is not financial advice. I share what works for my clients and I, so take what you will and leave the rest. Remember, your financial choices are your responsibility. I accept no liability. Ever pay your bills and then poof, it's all gone? There's nothing left for you. There you are, scratching your head, trying to figure out where it all went. Meanwhile, your savings account is empty. I lived that way for almost 3 decades. I'd blame my financial problems on the cost of living and a lack of money, but deep down, I knew there was another issue. I just didn't want to admit it to myself. I spent money like a kid in a candy store. I had no self-control, no accountability, and meanwhile, I'm behind on my taxes, my debt was growing rapidly, I had zero savings, and I was hemorrhaging money. And if my income stopped, I was screwed. Now, if you're still watching this, I'm willing to bet that you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, if you'll indulge me for a moment, I'd like you to imagine that you have a big red bucket. Now, it's pretty old and it's full of holes. So no matter how much water you pour into it, it just leaks right back out. This is what most of us are doing with our money. We hustle to make more, but it doesn't matter how much money we pour in because our financial bucket is full of holes. So, what's the solution? In my experience, the easiest way we can improve our finances is to plug our financial leaks and learn how to capture all of the money that was being wasted. Learn how to keep it and manage it first. Build yourself a strong financial foundation to stand on, and then everything else becomes much easier. So what are the biggest financial leaks? Let me give you an example. A while back, I met with one of my closest friends and his wife. And they were making huge commission checks, and they were having a lot of fun. The problem was they racked up $90,000 worth of debt, and it was growing really fast. Now, their initial solution was to make more money, but all that did was accelerate their spending and their debt. So we sat down and we ran some basic numbers. Within a few minutes, I showed them how they were leaking $120,000 each year. How? Doing fun stuff is expensive. Plus, they had no plan for their money, no accountability for their spending, and no organization to their finances. They were hemorrhaging money. $120,000 is a lot of money to be wasting, and my friend was a bit shell-shocked at first and kind of embarrassed, but I was elated. Why? Because I knew that if they were wasting $120,000, that meant that they could be keeping $120,000 of their own money every single year. All they needed was a little guidance on how to identify and then plug their financial leaks. So I walked them through the process, and within 9 months, they wiped out all $90,000 of their debt. Not by making more, but by keeping more of the money that they had been wasting. Imagine an extra $15,000, $30,000, or in some cases, $120,000 of your own money. Would you be worried about a second job? Comment the big split to book a one-on-one call, and I'll show you how much you could be capturing. I'll run your numbers with you for free. Over the years, I've identified 9 major financial leaks that my clients, including myself, have struggled with. Not having a plan for our money, not knowing how to stabilize a regular income, no accountability for our spending, not paying ourselves first, carrying bad debt, not setting aside money for taxes, paying way too much in taxes, hiding from our money problems, and making poor choices based on a poor financial education. Now, just one or two of these can keep us from achieving our financial goals, no matter how much money we're bringing in. But when we bring awareness to our day-to-day financial habits, we are now in a position to make better choices. So the first thing is to figure out where you're hemorrhaging money. Do you have horrible spending habits like me? Do you struggle with inconsistent and irregular income? Or maybe you jam yourself up with a massive tax payment at the end of the year. Make a list and feel free to add your own financial leaks. Now, step 2 is to plug your financial leaks, and this is where we can get creative. Start off by asking yourself, how can I plug this leak that doesn't require me to hustle and make more money? So let me give you an example. Let's say that you know that you don't have a great financial education. So an easy way to plug that leak is to read a couple books, to maybe take a course or two, and to listen to some podcasts. Start getting educated. Let's say another leak is you're paying way too much in taxes. A simple way to plug that leak is to hire a tax professional who will help you create a plan to pay less. If nothing's coming to mind, that's cool too. I'm going to go much more in depth in each one of these financial leaks, so be sure to check out my other videos. When we identify our financial leaks, what we're really doing is getting more honest with ourselves and our poor financial habits. And when we plug our financial leaks, what we're doing is opening ourselves up and learning new, more productive ways to handle our money. I knew my spending was out of control, but it took a little while to admit that to myself. Thing is, as soon as I did, I was able to take action and plug my financial leak. I was able to learn new ways to improve my spending habits. Earlier, I mentioned that I'm not a financial expert and I have no desire to be. I'm a creative and a business owner. I spent 3 decades trying to do finances the way everyone else was, and I felt like I was banging my head against the wall. None of it was helpful. If you're tired of forcing yourself into a financial box, or the traditional approach to finances never made sense to you, there's nothing wrong with you. It's simply time for a new financial perspective. Over the next year, I'm going to address common financial issues that small business owners and creatives often deal with, and I would love for you to join me. In the next video, I'll walk you through how to create a simple plan for your money that doesn't require budgeting, and I'll show you how to start paying yourself first. Thank you for your time and energy. I'll see you in the next one.